How did one man manage to manipulate and deceive millions of people into following his twisted ideology? How did he rise from obscurity to become the most powerful and feared leader in the world? How did he brainwash an entire nation into committing atrocities and waging war against humanity? These are some of the questions that we will explore in this video. Hitler was not born evil. He was a failed artist, a wounded soldier, and a frustrated politician who harbored a deep resentment and hatred towards those he blamed for Germany's defeat and humiliation in World War I. However, he was also a charismatic speaker, a cunning strategist, and a ruthless opportunist who exploited the economic and social crisis that plagued Germany in the 1920s and 1930s. He used three powerful tools to persuade and influence his followers: ethos, logos, and pathos. Ethos is the appeal to authority and credibility. Hitler portrayed himself as a strong and decisive leader who could restore Germany's glory and honor. He also claimed to have a divine mission and a prophetic vision for the future. Logos is the appeal to logic and reason. Hitler used facts, statistics, and arguments to justify his actions and policies. He also used lies, distortions, and scapegoats to create false enemies and divert attention from the real problems. Pathos is the appeal to emotions and values. Hitler appealed to the fears, hopes, and pride of the German people. He also appealed to their sense of nationalism, racism, and loyalty. He also used various techniques to kill logic and critical thinking among his followers. He repeated his messages over and over again until they became ingrained in their minds. He used slogans, symbols, and rituals to create a sense of unity and identity among his supporters. He used violence, intimidation, and terror to silence his opponents and dissenters. He also used censorship, propaganda, and education to control the information and culture that reached the masses. One of the most fascinating stories that illustrates how Hitler brainwashed millions of people is the story of Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists of all time. Einstein was a German Jew who fled Nazi Germany in 1933 after Hitler came to power. He was one of the many intellectuals, artists, and scientists who were persecuted by Hitler for their ideas and beliefs. Einstein was also one of the few who dared to speak out against Hitler's tyranny and warn the world of his dangers. Einstein wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1939, urging him to develop an atomic bomb before Hitler did. He feared that Hitler would use nuclear weapons to destroy his enemies and conquer the world. Einstein later regretted his involvement in the Manhattan Project, as he realized that his discovery had unleashed a new era of horror and destruction. How did Hitler react to Einstein's escape and defiance? He declared him an enemy of the state and offered a reward for his capture or death. He also burned his books and papers on public bonfires, along with those of other Jewish authors. He also launched a campaign to discredit Einstein's theory of relativity, which he denounced as Jewish physics. He promoted an alternative theory called German physics, which was based on nationalism and pseudoscience. How did the German people react to Hitler's treatment of Einstein? Many of them believed Hitler's lies and propaganda and turned against Einstein and his fellow Jews. They saw them as traitors, parasites, and subhumans who deserved to be eliminated. They also rejected Einstein's scientific contributions as irrelevant, incomprehensible, or dangerous. This is just one example of how Hitler brainwashed millions of people into following his twisted ideology. There are many more examples of how he influenced other leaders, countries, and movements around the world, including some in India. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching.